Hey everybody, Secondhand Dan coming to you again from Florida land. Got my skipper's hat. I'm flying solo though, I don't have any Gilligan with me, but I'm here in my shop, so I'm going to do a little bit of tinkering. I'll show you what the first tinker will be. I picked this item up maybe 2 months ago. It's a Bostitch staple gun. Generally, I think it's used for like doing flooring, but you can do other things as well with it. It puts in a U-shaped wire staple, like the same kinds they build pallets with. And you can see I got the original box with it. This is an auction find, but there's a small issue when I connect it up to the air. Let me show you what that's about. It's a well-made unit. It's fairly clean. A little pinch of surface rust on it. I'm going to offer it for resale. And if it doesn't resell, I'll just put it in my arsenal of tools. But I did give it a test already. And when I connected it up to the air, there was a hissing. There's like 2 exhaust vents on it. I took one off already and squirted some lubricant in there, but it's still making a slight hissing, and I gather it's not supposed to do that, but it does work even with the hissing. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Got the pancake compressor in the corner. Let me air this mug up. So I think you don't want it to do that, because it's just going to empty out your air supply sooner than need be. But let me show you. You smack it with a hammer. Boom! Okay, what I'm going to do is take these top Allen screws out and see if it isn't bits of dirt in there that's causing it to leak. So let's take it over to the workbench and deal with it there. All right, the thing with these Allen wrenches is a lot of guys, probably just like me, you have a drawer full of these things. And they're not always easily marked or in a set that's marked. Now this set is marked, and it's in 1/4 inch, 5/16, so that's what some people call American or SAE. The same thing with this set here, Sears 9 and 11 key set. It's also SAE. I'm believing these are going to be metric. So that means I got to putz around with these loose ones. Oh, I got it right. I got it right. Let's see if the size is on this one. Huh. It does say, 5/32. Well, that's a SAE, but it's a perfect fit. So could it not be metric? Okay, well, cracks loose easy enough. Let me open up this shed door behind you. It's getting a little stuffy in here. It's a beautiful day, though. It's like probably about slightly above 75, light breeze, sunny. Couldn't ask for a better looking day. Recently, the weather's been getting a little bit hotter and a little more humid. Actually, I think it's unusually warmer than their average right here in Florida right now. So this hasn't become intolerable, but I guess, you know, I'm a fair weather friend, or to put it nicely, I'm a snowbird. So when the weather gets too hot, I'll be hitting the road. And here's what I'm pulling out. I assume all four of these are going to be the same size. Let's push the parts container, dish, it's magnetic. Even if this doesn't, quote, fix after I'm done with it, it's still operational. It's just your compressor is going to run overtime if you don't handle that. But for as often as I would possibly need it, you know, I could probably deal with the compressor kicking on a couple extra times. But, you know, but if you're doing a big job, you need it plugged in for hours, that's going to be a real nuisance, that leaking down. So 4 are out. Okay, seems to be somewhat firmly in place. Let me give it a little rap, tap, tap with the hammer. Okay, there is a gasket in there. Of course, I knew that, but I want to be gentle on it so I can put it back together. So may I trace with a knife on one side of it so as to make sure it stays with one side rather than trying to divide itself in two between the two different sides. So here's this knife here. Yeah, it's really, there we go. Yeah, if I would have kept going, it probably would have definitely torn it in half. So this seems to be working. The old razor knife. Oh, I need to take off this other vent cover. Now let me put a tool or two away and go get the proper screwdriver at the same time. So I guess they're like exhaust port covers here. And that gives me, enables me to get to that gasket and trace it with a knife by moving that out of the way. Take your time. There she goes. Be careful, don't slip out of the groove here and run a razor knife across your thumb. There we go, it's free. Okay. And that's all the further it wants to go, which means it's probably attached down on the other end. But spinning it aside, yeah, it's held in somehow down below. So let me spin this back. Take a look at the bottom side. I don't know why it came with, looks to be slightly used. And that goes on there as needed. So I don't know why they felt the need to replace it one time. I see no damage to this one. I see 4 Allens down in there. I'm going to go ahead and take off this cover, or I guess it's a more of a pad. It's made out of plastic, but I think it's so you don't scuff your flooring if you're putting down hardwood floor. That's what this is first intention why they designed this tool, I think, was put down hardwood flooring. Okay. Aha, now I can get down in to release the other Allen screws. So once I release this, it looks like that head there might just lift right off of it. It's a little tricky because they got to use the long side of the Allen. Double check. It's a different size. So this end uses a beefier size. And I'm not seeing one here right now. Let me run over to the toolbox and pull out some more Allens. It does say right on the box, industrial flooring stapler. Fastener range 1.5 inch to 2 inch. That's a 15.5 gauge crown staple. And it looks like this might have been manufactured, or at least sold in 5/10 of 01. Not sure what the model number is. I guess maybe it's that sequence of letters is the model number. All right, well, casting that aside, I did find an Allen wrench that will fit these next pieces. What I'm going to do is, I've got a semi-portable vise. It's mounted to a wood block down here. If I put that up on my bench, it can help hold the stapler gun in place while I finagle with those bolts in it. Just more or less like a third hand. I really don't have to, quote, torque it. It's just going to be like a third hand. So, don't want to scratch the paint up that much. Let's be gentle with it. Okay. Proper Allen wrench. Let me turn on some more overhead lights here. Use them if you got them, right? Oh, the compressor's plugged in. We don't need it plugged in. I've got a extension cord. It's kind of a rover between things here. Working in a fabricated shed is a little different than working at my place at home. And, all right. Ta-da! That's better. All right, now I can see even better. I could see it before, but better is better. Get that in there. I'm going to use this for more leverage. If I slide it over the short end of the Allen and give it a twist. Pop goes the Allen. So, this is a lot like doing a rebuild. I'm sure they probably make a rebuild kit, but I'm not purchasing a rebuild kit for something that works, and I don't have any big jobs planned for it. Pop goes the Allen. I wonder if the Allen they named this after still alive and well. I don't know. Was that his first name or last name? Okay, are these going to be, these should be the same length. I took out 2 up here. And now I'm taking out 2 others. Yep, same length. Yep. All right. We got a loose. It's loose. Loose. Okay. Let's take it out of the vise. Got Allen screws in the front of it. I wonder if I should have just gone for those and maybe not have needed to take off the other ones, but hey, no problemo, man. Put these in the parts dish. It's a smaller Allen. It's got a little surface rust on it. Maybe I'll put a quickie splash of paint on it just to dress it up. Projects like these, usually straightforward. Take it apart, see what's dirty, clean off the dirt, put it back together. But every once in a while, you open up a can of worms. I had a chainsaw, and it had the fuel lines were like rock hard and crumbling. So I attempted to repair that, and I could have, maybe I should have, but I only had 25 bucks in the saw, and I started a project late last year and had to head home, and I figured, so I'm just gonna pass that off to somebody else that maybe has a strong chainsaw or gasoline skills. Oh, things are dropping. But I think it might have just been a clump of dirt. Yeah, it looks like a clump of wax. Huh. And another clump of wax. These little clumps of wax in there. I don't know if that's from them rubbing it in there or it was just initially installed in there. Okay, here's the magazine. I'm thinking that's just miscellaneous varnish accumulated in it. But here, let me show you up inside the throat of it. Watch this, Allen's gonna fall off. And there's where the stuff's falling out, right in there. Huh. And I can see more of it. Not sure what to make of it. But here's the actual impact hammer. They'll come flying down there and smack your staple. All right, well, I'm going to pick at that a little more and see what else falls out. Oh, this is the Model M2. Right there, Model M2. All right. Yeah. There, it looks like Model... Oh, my bad, M3. Yeah. Come on, they taught me Roman numerals when I was a little kid. Oh, more waxy stuff coming out. I almost think maybe they occasionally rub that on there to lubricate this device. Or unless it was on the actual staples and it just started accumulating up inside there. Okay, let's give this the old mallet crack. Oh, that was almost too easy. Certainly took a lot of weight off by doing that. Okay, at this point I'm still not sure why this just doesn't pull out. There are no other access into the cylinder other than the top and the bottom. A lot of that wax in there. Now that can't be just... Very interesting. There's still chunks of it in there. Actually, almost half a donut. I can break it in half and shake it out, break it in quarters. It really does look like wax. If I had a lighter on me, I would see if it melts, but I wonder if I tap on that, if it'll tend to drive the assembly apart. No? This wax just doesn't want to quit. Actually, it looks like a dried dog turd. Ha ha ha. Funny. Now, I see no other hardware that would, quote, be a connection. I mean, I was going to say, oh, okay. That wants to come down. Oh. All right, I'm going to have to stop. Oh, there goes my screwdriver. That's the problem having your workbench or the garbage can that close to your workbench. They just tumble into the garbage can. Let me get rid of some of this waxy buildup. Put these in the dish. Now you can see how far I can pull this part down. Wow, that's got quite the stroke on it. I wonder if this rubber stopper or rubber cap pulls off, then allows this to pull out. Well, let's test that theory. A little leverage. Yeah, it's going to pop off. Okay. That came right off the top without much effort. Okay, will this pull all the way out through the bottom now? No. Oh, I do see another Allen screw. But this comes off now, making the Allen screw accessible. Three Allens there. Okay. This is where I suspect it's... begs the question, why doesn't it come up? Okay, probably have to take this off to take that out, to pull that apart on the bottom. Okay, we're switching up Allen's wrench sizes again. Too small. Too small. Let me go to the toolbox. Hey, Alan, you give me a hand. Let me tell you, this thing's a real Bostitch. Bostitch. Wrong size. By Stanley. So I guess that means Stanley owns Bostitch. Wrong size. Wrong size. Ducka, 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 da, 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 Trying to grab all the ones that look like they're in that area of size. 3 more to try here. Wrong size. All right, well, let's go to the jackknife here, full of them, and see if one of these don't happen to work. Oh, it works. Except now the whole thing's spinning. And you don't want to put a vice grip on it to hold it because, well, I guess that's not a seal. Well, yeah, I guess it kind of is, yeah. Secondary seal, but well, we could put it on top where the rubber, the mallet spot is, so that won't hurt it. I put a vice grip up on there. And pretty sure they're not going to be all that tight, being that they're a smaller size and they look like they were in a lubricated zone. And I'm going to put a minimal amount of clamping pressure on it, just to, because even though that size, that spot doesn't particularly matter, it's just good practice not to put more pressure into something than needed. Okay, this one's coming out. So there's 3 of these. And being a rebuild kit, it was probably just a bunch of washers. Which means it would be probably pretty darn easy to, quote, rebuild. But I don't have said washers, and I'm not worried about it right now. And I'm just looking for something constructive to do sometimes. Just for GP, maybe I'll go ahead and Google Bostitch nailer repair kit. And if it's, you know, like under $5 or something, because it's probably just going to be O-rings. Oh, speaking of O-rings, one just jumped out from underneath this Allen here. So that means there's probably another one under the other one that I didn't notice. I think I see it now. Actually, they're lock washers. They're not they're not O-rings. Okay. I have to reposition this to get to the final Allen bolt. I'm really surprised that we're working with non-metrics here. '01. This it might have been just on the latter part of the changing over to metric hardware. Okay, something's coming up and out. Pushing that down, see if it's going to come all the way out. Well, it can't come all the way up because that's too small. So why didn't it come all the way up and out the other way? Even before, when I was just pulling, yeah, it stops. Bonk. There's a stop. Huh. All right, I'm a little flummoxed. This pushes in but so far and stops. Now, there's a hole in the center there. I wonder if there's another Allen screw down in there. Can't see one at this point. I don't have a flashlight. Let's stick an Allen down in there and see if we find something. Whoa, that's too deep to be an Allen. Okay, well then this, okay. It's a nut. It's a square nut. So put a wrench on that, that's going to come off. Let me get said adjustable wrench. Okay, well, it's turning on both ends, so I think I have to put a vice grip on this hammer part. You wouldn't think something this simple looking would turn out to be as complicated, but I enjoy the little challenge here of working on something new and different. And this doesn't close and grab that, so I need a different pair of vice grips. I think this is going to work. I'm trying to grab that little tongue there. Okay. Well, something turned. Can't say it feels like it's, quote, getting loose, but it's turning. Could be it's just gunked up. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I can see where it's rising up off the shaft that it's attached to. It's getting mildly easier. And there she goes. Okay. Now I know one thing is you clean something like this up and put it back together, and sometimes it doesn't operate as good as before you cleaned it up, but we shall see what we shall see when we see it. Now, should this not pull out now? No, there's still no room for it to come through here. I thought maybe just the tongue itself would slide out. Okay, and I have to thread something in here, get a grip on this. I don't know if it would be called a piston. And it's stopping again. Huh. All right. This is just getting weird. Getting weird. Well, I'll try. Put a slight grip with a vice grip. For the first time, it's been a while since I bought a brand new hand tool. I actually bought one of these brand new when I was working on the CT because of the restricted area where I was trying to get my hand in and work on things. I bought this, and I like it. It's got a loop on the end instead of the regular knob, which means acts like a knob, or if you need to get a screwdriver in there for a little more leverage. Or, hey, if you were working in a place where you're afraid of dropping it, you could tie a string on it so you don't lose it into the abyss. Okay. Oh, there. There's nothing behind that sticker there. I don't feel any indentations. There's a sticker on the side here, in case they were hiding something. I saw a guy taking apart an antique vacuum cleaner on YouTube. I mean, this thing was probably from like 1930. He was trying to get the windings out. Finally, there was two hinge doors for the brush access. He found out when he took the hinge doors off, there were screws under there holding the windings in place. They were well hidden. Hi, Kirumba. All right, well, I can't get this piston to come out of the bore. So the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take out this air chuck and see if there isn't something deep in there preventing it from coming out. Because I am at a loss, and if I don't see anything, I'm just going to put this back together and call it a interesting tear down and reassembly. Ugh, there it goes. Ugh. So I want to do a good and snug. Good and snug, good and snug. Okay, well, I don't know what's down in there. Kind of feels like I'm landing on something, though. All right, let me put you on hold so I can go get a flashlight and look down in there. Well, I can see just by looking down the main bore that I'm looking into the handle area, and there is nothing bridging coming over that way to prevent anything else from sliding out. And I'm starting to think that this waxy stuff may have been a spray lubricant they were using, that as it heated up, it accumulated in there and dried. Now, give it a last couple of love taps. No, it didn't go anywhere. All right, well, the time has come for me to put it back together. Sorry if I disappointed you by taking you so far and no further than that, but to just move on to the next project and get this one wrapped up. Let's reverse some of the things I've done. Okay, so we took off the square nut. We'll wipe that down. It's pretty nasty looking as far as the accumulation of, that wipes off easy. I don't know if that's like aluminum particles from things moving up and down in it, or it's just dirty compressor air that accumulated on it, but they clean up really nice. So I got nothing to lose just by putting this thing back together. Because I think I get a little pat on the back if I can take it apart this far and put it back together and have it still work. Okay, gonna hold the tongue, or like the anvil, the hammer, whatever you'd like to call it. Okay, we got the little Allens holding on. They can wait until I tighten down the top of the anvil nut plunger. Little lubrication. Then you just go with a moderate amount of torque until it bottoms out. I think we're just about there. We have arrived. Now that is dirty in there. Let me wipe that out. That's some nasty dirt. Dirty around this O-ring. Back in Pittsburgh, I actually have a collection of O-rings. I'd be willing to look and see if I had one to replace this. Oh, this one's kind of large. I don't know if my set goes that big, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least look. Let's get the dirt out of the corner of this piston. Piston cap. Actuator. Without an actual parts diagram from the company, you know, you make the name up if you're not 100% sure. This is where the bopper goes on, and this gets bolted onto that. And this is rotatable. I know you've got to make sure the that tongue, that hammer part, lines up correctly with this, but I think you have the freedom just to rotate it anywhere to get it to line up properly when the time comes. So if we're putting this in place, let me wipe off the inner bore. I mean, I don't see any nasty scratches or anything like that. It would be nice if it was just a dirt issue. Get my fingernail in between the seal. Yep, got a nice booger out of there. Rotate it. Put a little lube on it. Even though that's got a square shank on it, it doesn't matter. This is a round. But I do have to line up the bolts. There's 3 in here, which match with the 3 in there. Just for argument's sake, we'll turn that one at 12 o'clock and aim this one at 12 o'clock. Oh, that went in there too easy. All right. Maybe get a real thin Allen, thinner than these bolts, to use as a pilot. There we go. Yeah, I'm lined up. Is it not catching? Come on. I don't understand. If that one's lined up, unless it only goes, this 3-way isn't offset in an exact triangle. It might be like an isosceles triangle or something like that. No, we'll rotate it one and try again. Unless I... Oh. Maybe I just thought I was lined up the last time because... Oh, there it goes. Okay. I know the... Okay, something is wrong here. Wonder if I don't have my depth. Did I not get this plunger in far enough yet? And the screws are, yeah, I think that's what it is. The screws are just bottoming out and not reaching their goal. Maybe I need a little more oomph to push the plunger in. That made a difference. Let's see. Yeah, you can see how it pushed the screw all the way back out. And it caught. It's going in. I think those are perfect triangle. The reason I thought maybe they weren't a perfect triangle is because I did see like a little porthole drilled in this thing. I thought in case they wanted it to line up in a particular spot, maybe they had offset the screws so that they would not let you put this plunger on top any one of 3 positions, but rather only one of 1 positions. But that's not the case. There is a port there, but it doesn't have to be lined up any particular. Little lock washers holding these Allens in, or holding them from backing down. Okay, right now they're all even snug. I want to put a small amount of additional torque on each one, because that's the way I found it. All right, it's torqued. Rotate.
Oh, you want him?
Yep, we're doing it to it. Hey, Candy's here. Don't lay a finger on my butterfinger. Candy is dandy, but love don't rot your teeth.
Yeah, candy and dandy, liquor's quicker.
Whatever it takes to get you through the night.
You're so smart.
Yep, I should get paid for that.
You do.
All right, it's starting to get a little humid. I guess it is midday about now, so I guess the temperature has picked up. I'm going to open up this garage door. Here's that gasket earlier I was trying not to tear, and I used a knife to lift it off the body and keep it on the cover. So it looks to be quite usable. I just wipe it off a little bit. Okay. Now we need the proper Allens. I think it's these four. I think this is going to go back quicker than it came apart. A lot of times you get the opposite happening. It'll take a lot longer to put it back together than it did to take it apart. I did a video on my inversion pump on my Lexus CT. I think I only had like under 40 minutes in taking it out, but the video of it going back together was over an hour. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's no lock washers on this particular Allen screw. Oh, that's not the right size Allen. Oop, there it is. Torque. Okay. Torque. 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 Okay. Now let's go ahead and put the rubber snubber on. Don't snub me. There it goes. Okay, the snubber has landed. Okay, now we're dealing with this end. There's no gasket on this side. None were needed. There's still more of that waxy buildup. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and tear into this Kit Kat, or I mean this Butterfinger. Good. Oh, afternoon delight. Okay, I'm mulling over the sequences of reassembling this. Ah, I can see a wetness mark. And it says this goes like that. Right? Right? Yeah. Goes like that. Well, let me finish that Butterfinger up. At least another bite. Okay, whatever screws go in here, they pass all the way through. So we have, yeah, ta-da, and that'll go on there, and then, yeah, this comes off, could have come off as a whole unit. So let me drop some screws in here. Go ahead and close this magazine door. Oh. Okay. What this thing, actually, is it copper coated or made of copper? Huh. One way to tell real quick. I think it's just maybe flashed with copper. It's got a copperish color to it. Okay, that's what it looks like while going together. So that tongue in here shoots right out through there. Okay, one's landed. If anybody's got any tips on uploading videos to the internet, why it takes so long for me. I mean, it seems like a 10-minute video will take like 20 minutes, half an hour. And I'm not sure why that is. When I can download a movie from Netflix onto my phone, you know, a 2-hour movie takes about 10 minutes. So I don't understand why we got a big difference between downloading and uploading. So if there's a way that you know that you can share with me that will make it faster, clue me in. Okay. Now, it's obvious that goes on there. What's also obvious is right now I've got to spin that tongue 180 degrees. So it'll follow the hole that's cut for it. Just for argument's sake, throw a little lubrication down there. Oh, that was way too easy. Check it for burrs. Don't feel any burrs. Okay, last bite of the Butterfinger. That was a lot of fun. Must be a fun sauce. The third hand. Okay. Oh, these have to go on simultaneously or together at the same time. Okay, well. Big bolts. Let's feed the tongue on first. Okay, easy peasy. Let's make sure it's not going to get too top heavy when I put this on. I want this whole thing to wind up on my foot. Four bolts. Is it threading? Yes, it is. One more bolt to go for the foot. Okay, get my torque extender. Torque. Let's do them diagonally first. torque. Torque. One left. Wind is blowing. Well, I should say, when does a breeze become the wind? Okay. Now the protective pad. I said I've got two of them. And one seems no better than the other. One's a little dirtier, but am I disappointed that I didn't get it 100% apart? Yes. Am I upset that I didn't get it 100% apart? No. Life will go on. There'll be other challenges accepted and conquered. You got to pick your battles wisely. I mean, when I woke up this morning, I didn't even know I was going to be doing this. I actually had to motivate myself. I was feeling a little down, but I finally got up out of bed and said, do something. Okay, let go third hand. Put on the exhaust covers. I'll point them straight down. It's funny. I mean, I could have been something very simple to getting a complete teardown on this, but I couldn't see it. Last thing, the airline. Oh, I see a little piece of dirt in there. Down here in Florida, you have a lot of sand in everything. It gets it deep in your carpets. It gets into your floor mats of the car. It gets into your hands, into your tools, and it's gritty, so I'm going to try and keep it out of things. So I guess this is more like exploratory surgery, because I did really nothing but take it apart and put it back together, other than wiping out a little dirt here and there. So I wouldn't call this one an autopsy because it wasn't dead, so we really didn't have to autopsy it. But like I said, it's more exploratory surgery. So I'm going to fire the compressor up and see how she handles. Okay, let's connect the compressor line up and see if we get that hiss again. We do. And like I said, I can live with that. Unless somebody else, maybe I sell it to them, I'll tell them it's due for a rebuild, but it works. Give it a crack with the hand. Alright, well, let's give it a crack with the hammer. Booyah! I wonder if it's because maybe I need more pressure. Right now, this little compressor, it's set on 80, so I would think 80 would be enough. Does it say on the box what the operating range is? Huh. There's no paperwork in here. High speed aluminum housing, da 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 da, yada da da da. All right, I'm not seeing a number for the operating temperature. Excuse me, pressure. But right now I shut my compressor off, so you guys didn't have to listen to it screaming. And right now it's putting out 80 pounds right to this unit, so. Well, that was fun. It was interesting. It's done. Thanks for riding along with me. See you later. This is Secondhand Dan signing off.